What's up, everybody? Andy Waddell with Form Films, and welcome to Grade in 10. Today is going to be a fun one. We got food, we got stove, we got cooking oil, and tomatoes, and wood cutting blocks, and all kinds of fun things with lots of color, so let's dive in. Okay, this is a shot from a really cool interactive experience we built a while back. And at this point in the experience, you have selected every ingredient, and now you literally watch a French master chef cook your dish in real time. It was really, really cool, and the ingredients to the right reflect what you picked throughout the experience. So we're going to start with the oil being poured in the pan, and we're going to grade this shot to look super zesty and warm and friendly and yummy. So let's go. Kicking it off, we are in DaVinci YRGB. I'm going to flip it to color managed. Skadoosh. Okay, so it's a little dark. We're going to add some denoise. Not a lot, just a little. Okay, next up, we need some exposure. DP did not put enough light through the lens, and that would be my fault because I was the DP, but it's all good. We have so much latitude on this shot. It's going to be amazing. I'm going to lift the shadows just a touch. I mean, a very small touch. All right. Let's do something I don't normally do. I'm going to call this white balance. I might take the white balance auto tool, pop it on this white label, and just see what I get. Meh. Maybe these onions. Come on. Grab the tool. There we go. Oh man, okay, that's you know what? There's different schools of thoughts on whether or not that's the right way to do it. I don't normally do it that way. But in this case, it pushed our temperature pretty far to the left and tint a little bit. But honestly, the end result speaks for itself, and this puts us in a really great starting point. Let's keep going. Next node up is primary, so I'm going to grab my offset wheel here, and I'm just going to try to balance out and feel out kind of a good center starting point for the overall color balance now that we got our white balance where I want it. Exploring a little bit. Right in there is feeling pretty good. Okay, off, on, kind of cools it off just a little bit more. Might be a little too blue, very subtle. Okay, let's leave it there. Let's make an adjustment layer, or excuse me, adjustment node. Skipped into After Effects mode there for a second. And what I'm going to do with this is I'm going to grab the red shadows and the green and the blue, just try to kind of bring them together with my curves. Pull a little bit of that out. With blue, pull a little bit of blue out, watching my scopes. Okay. Off, on, already feeling better. Let's tackle, I'm going to call it the stove. So everything metal and black, we're going to grab it with the 3D qualifier. Dang, that did pretty good. Wow, definitely liking that. Okay, so I'm going to unsolo that, and just right out of the gate, I'm going to just desat it quite a bit. Boom, love it. It's got a raw black metal energy to it. Right in here, see what's happening here? That's off. Now I'm going to kick it on. Boom, loving that. Okay, let's keep moving. We're just gonna have fun. Let's call this one. Ooh, this is gonna be challenging. Let's call this cutting board. This one, there's some shared tones and hues. This might be a little bit wonky, but we're gonna experiment. It's been a while since I've graded this shot for the real project, so I don't remember how I did it, honestly. Okay. I don't mind if there's a little bit of bleed because, like, these are glass jars. Food is, the lighter food's going to pick up some of the tone. It doesn't bother me. Really forgiving in this case. I do want to mask this because I don't want to grab the chef's hand across the whole shot. I really want to keep that on this part of the frame. Now, I'm aware that when he reaches over and grabs something, that might be an issue, but we're going to tackle that later. Okay, so now we have control of that. So I'm going to pull some red. I'll pull some red out of my shadows on that. Pull some greens. I like losing the green a little bit more. Let's see. I'd say I might desaturate it just a touch, but then I'm ironically going to roll my highlights a little bit warmer and see what happens. Yeah, okay. Now, I'm also just going to raise my exposure right here on the offset. Brighten this thing up a little bit. Okay, you know what? I'm actually going to push that sat back up where it was. Okay, so, excuse me, didn't mean to cough in the mic. Dang it, so sorry, I keep doing that tonight. Or clear my throat, rather. Okay, off, on, off, on. I'm gonna roll the whole thing a touch warmer still on the offset even. Okay, off, on, still in a little bit. Okay, let's tackle, I don't really care about the shrimp. Let's get the greens. I want the greens to feel zesty. Oh, okay. There's grabbing some of the darks in there. Let's see. And I don't want to mask this necessarily because he's going to grab those things and throw them in the pan. So I want it to work across the whole of the shot. Okay, let's see if I can work with this. That's interesting. Okay, so we're bringing out, it's really helping there. I'm going to saturate them up a little bit too. But what's interesting is we're getting green over on the left side of the stove. So I'm going to try to cut that out. I'm going to grab. Okay, that's better. Maybe. Ooh, that's not good. Yeah, this is tricky because you hit that little black spot right there, and all of a sudden it's grabbing the entire stove again. So tricky, but that already makes it pop. Let's go with that for now. I want to brighten. Oh, tomatoes. Yeah, I was gonna get ahead of myself there. I do want to brighten up the right corner here that was under the oven hood a little bit and under the cabinetry. I'm going to bring that up in a little bit, but first, tomato adjustments. Now these tomatoes were just for show, so we can totally mask them. He never grabs those. We'll do that. And all I want to do here is punch them up a good bit. And then I want to pull the saturation back a little bit. 40. Okay, so now if I toggle that on and off, on, it really brings out the highlights. Really like that. Okay, let's jump to the end. As I often do, we're going to add our sharpening. Whoosh. Liking that. Really brings out all the detail in these different ingredients. Going to put a node in front of that. We're going to do our lab shadow magic sauce. Going to put this node into lab CIE color space. I'm going to roll my shadows down to about -3 to 4. Just continues to pull that stove out, really separating from the warmth of this stuff. I'll make that a lot. Coming back in front of that node real quick, I'm going to do FR for frame right exposure. And what I'm going to do is zoom out a bit. Draw a mask. And what I'm kind of going to do is just a reverse vignette, sort of. It's large enough. Maybe not that large. Oh, it's huge. Look at the size of that vignette. Oh, it's huge. Sorry. Okay. And then I want to just work on bringing it up. Oh, I invert it every time. I forget to do that. Okay. Right. Okay. Yeah. Nice. I'm going to jump back to adjustments. I'm going to pull the green shadows down ever so slightly. Okay. It's feeling pretty good. Again, I don't remember how I graded it the first time, so you're getting kind of a fresh approach. Let's walk it through. Killing everything. Denoise. Oops, sorry. Denoise. Exposure. Just getting everything pretty much up into the scopes. White balance. That's just a broad brush quick shift. Primaries. Pulling it back a little bit to the cooler tones, which actually, now that I look at it, it's actually putting a little bit of blue purple in here, but we take care of that later. So adjustment, we just pulled down some red and blue in the shadows to kind of even out our scopes on the bottom end. Now we're going to isolate the stove, and here we go. Skadoosh. Love it. Boom. It's so easy. It just cleans it up, and I love how it makes this oil pop. Cutting board, boom. We just pulled the greens out and brought it up in exposure. Our greens are popping. Our tomatoes are popping, but not oversaturating. And now frame right, exposure. Now we've got a little bit of balance here. It feels like there's some counter lights that are hitting these tomatoes. Our lab pulls a little bit more separation from the shadows and the highlights. And our sharpens. Oh, one last thing before I do stove, I'm going to actually insert and call this hand, because you're going to see the chef's hand. So we'll go ahead and grab his skin tone. Okay, I'm going to drop color compressor on it, just to clean up and unify the tones in his skin. All right, let's flip to vector scope. We are pretty much right on the money. Might just take our offset wheel and play with it just a touch. Okay, going back to parade, unsoloing. There we go, turning it off. You see a little more like variation in his knuckles are a little redder and then a little paler here, and turning it back on, it just kind of smooths everything out color-wise, to make it just feel a little more consistent throughout his skin. So I'd say that about does it. Thanks for watching. Hit the likes, the follows, subscribes. Keep up with us, and leave comments or shout out on the socials. So thanks for every eyeball that watched me color this delicious pan of oil and ingredients that aren't yet cooked. Sorry, I probably should have used something that was already frying and sizzling. Maybe next time. Thanks.